Hello, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoy, editor of CropLife and CropLife Iron. Here again with Lara Sawinski. Lara, how you doing?
Really well, thank you. I had to
That's
be there for a minute.
oh yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you're doing well.
All right.
And I don't know about in El Paso, but I know here in Ohio, I guess we would call this Indian summer because the temperature did dip there for a while into the 50s and 60s, and now we're back up into the 80s, and it has been very, very pleasant and warm. So enjoying the weather here.
Well, that's good. It'll be nice and warm as you fold up your t-shirts, put them in the back of the closet, and pull out those wool sweaters to the front.
That'll probably happen middle of next week, from what I hear. So. All right. Well, hey, a couple of things to talk about. I know, the one of the things we've been following in the magazine for a couple of years now is this whole idea of crop protection products that have been on the marketplace and had government EPA approval
Mhm.
being challenged by environmental groups. And I know, of course, in our October issue of CropLife, we're talking about 25 years of the 21st century for ag retail, and mentioned that that is one of the big things that has happened these last 25 years, the last like maybe 5 or 6 in particular. And the poster child for this has been Bayer with glyphosate. Of course, dicamba's gotten caught up in this in this litigation lawfare, if you will. And up until now, though, the one product cropping system that's kind of avoided any trouble has been Enlist by Corteva. But I know when I was at the Mid America Crop Life Association meeting, the speaker there, Harrison Pittman from the National Agricultural Law Center, just kind of mentioned in passing during his speech that he had heard that maybe Enlist was going to be targeted next. And lo and behold, on September 12th, they got a press release from the National Agricultural Law Center saying that environmental groups have now asked a federal court to overturn EPA's 2022 decision that registered Enlist One and Enlist Duo. And they're claiming that EPA did not follow FIFRA and ESA guidelines, and that they ignored environmental impacts, overstated the benefits of using Enlist, and that required mitigation measures intended to reduce the impact on wildlife. So again, this lawsuit apparently has now been filed. So um, Enlist is now being targeted by the environmental groups.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a interesting development. I mean, what does that mean for everything else in a way, you know?
Well, funny you should ask, because the other thing that came down is 3 days later, believe it or not, on September 15th, saw an item in the Wall Street Journal that parent company Corteva is actually considering splitting the company in half. So that crop protection would be on one side and seed would be on the other.
Mhm.
And again, this isn't a definitive thing yet, that it's not necessarily going to happen. But if it does, the article did mention that part of the reason for this split would be to protect seed from any litigation against crop protection products, I'm assuming like Enlist,
Yeah.
that might negatively impact the crop protection side of the Corteva business. So
Mm.
I know I talked to a Corteva representative the other day, and they said when there's something that's definitive that takes place, that they will be willing to talk to us about it. But at the moment, this is all purely in the discussion phase.
Yeah. Yeah, that was gonna be my follow-up question for you. Any timeline, or have you heard anything more? But yeah, so at this point, just stand by and wait to hear. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you like these kind of items and want to follow this news, keep tuning in to Crop Life Retail Week. There's our shameless plug that
Yeah.
because as stuff breaks, we will definitely discuss it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, if you recall the last episode of Retail Week, I mentioned a press release from earlier in September about Land O'Lakes and local ag retailers announcing their participation in the Ag Rogue Growth fund. And one of the in the press release, one of the executives mentioned Jason Trusley. Jason is the chief strategy officer with Land of Lakes, and I was able to get a couple minutes with him on the phone this past week and asked him a few things. So be putting together an article based on that conversation, but a couple highlights from my brief talk with Jason. You know, we were talking initially like in the last year or so, obviously a lot of outside VC funding, if you will, coming into ag. A lot of that is dried up and kind of gone away. A pretty dramatic reduction, if you will. So you know, I asked him, you know, what's behind that, and he said, well, you know, obviously in the last few years, a lot of money has gone to AI, artificial intelligence, which you know therefore has pulled a lot of capital out of other areas and segments, including ag tech. Um, so you know we're talking about how this idea for funding and you know they're working with radical growth out of Southern California on this agro growth fund. And he said, you know, really the idea kind of popped up a couple years ago during a discussion. There were it was a round table they were having there, and um, with Land O'Lakes and about 20 other CEOs. He said that they were kind of posed a question. You know, how can we work together to kind of scale our ability to invest in early stage companies, but also use our scale to help those investments, you know, to expedite and to vet, make sure, you know, what we're investing in is what the farmers and retailers need. And he said, really, kind of that light bulb went off, like, yeah, this would be a model. This is something that would be great, you know, to essentially kind of just look within what we have as an industry, the resources that we have to fund ag tech. So it was a really good um, talk. I you know I like how we ended as well. He just really kept on saying that we really you know this is about bringing a strategy. This isn't like let's fund, get in there early, get our money, and you know skedaddle. This is really about investing in and the farmers, the retailers, the co-ops, the communities, by extension, the communities and the people that comprise what is ag. And we know ag. We can fund it. We know what works. It was nice. It was a really good talk. I really did appreciate it. In fact, he mentioned following this announcement, which did come out on September 3rd, he said they've already had over 100 calls, you know,
Wow.
that are interested in participating in this. And I do want to mention for our listeners, if you go to agrogugrowth.com, so it's AGROGUGROWTH, agrogugrowth.com. Check out what they're doing. It really is a great model. Like I said, I'll be putting an article together based on my conversation with Jason. But it's great, really. Hats off to them. I really some good news, good smart tech, ag tech angle there as well, which is all good. Excited to keep in touch with Jason and the folks and see what's next.
Yeah, that is good to hear. So again, you're going to be, I know you said you're going to be preparing like a Q&A article. Will
Mhm.
that be online or in print or both?
I know we'll get it online real quick, so that'll be the week of September 22nd. We'll have a news item in both our newsletter as well as on CropLife.com, so you can look for that. And then, space permitting, we'll see if we can find a spot in an upcoming edition of CropLife.
Very good. So
Yeah,
shameless plug number two. Nice going.
yeah,
I didn't even have to do that one. You did it for us. So yes, check out croplife.com, please. All right.
yeah.
Well,
So,
hey, Miss Laura, before we end,
mhm.
let's go to our regularly scheduled part of the show. Time for fun with numbers.
Numbers. I was
Yes.
hoping we could get we could get,
We
oh,
will we will get to we will
we're
get
not
to the other thing quickly,
funny.
but let's do fun with numbers first,
Okay,
okay?
okay. Alrighty.
All
What
right.
do you got?
So your number this week is 9,000.
Okay.
All right? Just the number, 9,000. So Ms. Lara, is 9,000, is that A, the number of tractors sold in the US in 2024? Is it B, the number of spray drones sold in the US in 2024?
Hmm.
Is it C, the number of planters sold in the US in 2024? Or is it D, hopefully not, what Laura Sawinski is charging her new tenant per month in rent now that she's a landlord?
Oh gosh, Eric. Telling you, you are a clever
Thought you'd appreciate that.
man. Oh, I'm going to go with B, spray drones.
You are correct. Congratulations, ma'am. Yes, actually, I had the opportunity to sit in on a webinar the other day that was hosted by our friends at the Agricultural Retailers Association, where they
Mhm.
were talking about drones in the US and potential litigation or regulations that would perhaps prohibit Chinese manufactured drones from being used in US agriculture in the future. And one of the speakers mentioned that last year, 9,000 spray drones, approximately 9,000, were sold in the USA to be used by growers and ag retailers in the fields. So
Wow.
I thought that was a really good number, and it's a fun one. So
Yeah, yeah. And it's even
yeah,
funner when I get the answer right. So,
you did very well. So now, if you could tease for our viewers
where am I going?
what you're going to be doing the next week. And again, I know I did this last year, so I know you're going to have a lot of fun. So please tease.
Well, let's put it this way. It's highly doubtful that I'll have cell reception because I will be um, participating in a visit to the Nutrien's Allen potash mine, and that's up in Saskatchewan, Canada. Super excited about this. The more I learn about what they're doing, and just the massive mine and what goes on there, I'm excited to see it. So, as you all know, Nutrien is the world's largest potash producer. They actually have 6 mines that they operate in Saskatchewan, and potash is exported to about 40 countries around the world. So they own that market for sure. So really excited to see the operations. And I know you had a wonderful trip when you visited. So looking forward to mine as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, take lots of pictures.
I will.
Get a video if you can, and then yes, viewers, in about 3 weeks' time, when Miss Lara has returned from this and a few other of her trips she has, we will give you a highlight of what went on down in the Allen mine. Remember that the camera needs to be on night flash. That seems to be the easiest way to get it to work when you're down a mile underground. So.
You don't have to emphasize how far underground.
I know,
Good.
I know. I know you were a little apprehensive, but believe me, having
Yeah.
done this, I know I was worried too. But it's not like you're in somebody's walk-in closet. I mean, the ceilings are very high. There's room enough for 2 vehicles to be going in opposite directions down these corridors, and there's lots of headspace. So you should be
I'll
just
be good.
fine.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't
Yep.
wait. I'll
Yep.
report back.
All right. Well, our best wishes for you having a safe and enjoyable journey up to Saskatchewan to visit the Allen Mine.
Thank you.
And on behalf of everyone here at the CropLife Media Group, thank you, viewers, for joining us for this week's edition of CropLife Retail Week. And we will see you again real soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comments section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.